Hey YouTube friends, welcome to another video. Alright, in this video we're going to be harvesting some pigeon peas. I know some of you know what pigeon peas is, some you don't, but that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me turn the camera and show you exactly what pigeon peas is. Alright guys, this is pigeon peas. It's a legume. It's also extremely drought tolerant. I don't know if you could actually hear the bees in the background, but it was mainly like in the Caribbean, in South Asia, Latin America. The peas come in, like, I think it's like a brown color. You have one that's like black, and yeah, you have a speckled color one. So it's like 3 varieties, but all the varieties taste the same way. What you're gonna see today, I'm gonna be harvesting some of these. I'm gonna harvest the green pods. Another question I know you're probably gonna ask, where can I grow this? You could grow this probably, maybe, depending on how you start it. But mainly it's a subtropical, tropical, plant. But you could try in zone 8. I've seen people in New York grow it and they get a few peas, but because that's not the ideal area for it to grow. It's really 9, 10, 11, tropical areas. You're gonna get high production peas. It's a drought tolerant pea. Once you plant it, you don't need to do nothing. It grows in any soil type. No big deal. It normally produces the peas like almost to the end of the year, going into spring, late spring, stuff like that. And it go right into summer sometimes. You get some, if you look over there on that side, you see some browning. Those are the dry pods. But we're gonna harvest. All right, this is a dry pod here. You see one layer dry. These are the green ones. So right now, let me just show you something. Right now, you see these are like plump, ready to harvest. These are dry. So these are dry. You could also harvest these. And you're gonna ask, what can I use this in? Let me just give you a list of what you could use this in. All right. Some of the stuff you could use this in varies. In the Caribbean, I grew up eating this in soups and rice and peas. But you could even go further in salads, stews. It can be eaten even raw. You could stir fry it. So much, other different ways. And you get older, you kind of stick with your tradition that you grew up with, but then you learn new ways of using that particular plant or food. So this is, the pigeon peas, high in protein. It's also a nitrogen fixer. You could feed it to your rabbits, everything, your chickens, everything. It's one of those all-purpose plants. And one of the things I said, if you are gonna start a food forest, you could use these as a pioneer plants. They grow fast and they could provide shade for your young fruit trees as well. So, but let's just harvest some of these and let you guys see what's going on. Let's do some harvesting right now. So I got this container, and with the pea, I'm a one-man camera crew, so just bear with me. It's easy to harvest. You just kind of just pull them right off like this. There's a wasp, there's a bee flying around here. You probably tell them to listen. I need to get the. All right, there's a pea right here. Let me just shell them out and show you what. I hope you could see good on the camera. All right, let's see. I'm gonna show you. Well, I'm taking them out the pods. All right, let me just bring the camera over and show you. So these are the peas out the pods. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that now. Yeah, that's one of the hard job after harvesting all these peas is to actually shell them out. Yeah, so let's shell these out and let you see. And make sure you could see everything. Yeah, yeah. And you're probably asking what does the pigeon peas taste like too? You know, all right. The pigeon peas have a earthy, smoky flavor. That's how I would describe it. Earthy, smoky, that kind of range. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great taste in soups. You make a pea soup with this, guys. The flavor is like bursting. Just imagine something earthy with that smoky flavor. See these guys? Yeah. So let me just finish. Yeah, but I'm not gonna shell this out on camera. I just wanted you guys to see what it looks like, you know, when you shell it. Let me find some dry pea and show you the difference. So the dry one, as soon as I touch it, it just pop right away. So these are the dry ones. Yeah, so these are the ones you would replant if you wanted more. And I had a couple of these trees, different areas of the food forest, but during the hurricane, you know, a lot of it got knocked down completely. So all right, so let's harvest some of these peas, and then we're gonna come right back. All right, start. Got some dry. I'm gonna put the dry ones separately in two. So dry in this container, the greener one in this container. Show you that after. Yeah, but a lot of I'm looking for the one. And you're probably gonna ask when to harvest. Let me just show you something. The two different type of pea. Okay. When you want to harvest the pigeon pea. All right, if you look here, this is not as plump as these. You wait for these peas to feel like they're full inside, like real full. This is still very young and soft. You feel these it's a lot harder, you know, and more plump. So you know it's ready to harvest. This is probably need another 2 weeks, and then we could harvest. Okay, so that's it. Let's get some more. Pretty easy, even when you're harvesting it too, you could smell that earthy, you know, tone from it. Yeah, feel good. Yeah. Dry, and put the dry one separately. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for the more plump ones. I'm good. Yes, we had some nice ones. So normally, look, let's pull these right off. There's a wasp here, you know, a bee here that just like annoying. Like, listen, leave this alone. But you know what? We need to harvest. These, I said, we look for the more plump ones, not the. Give those another couple of weeks. We could harvest some more. And even they kind of getting a little bit yellowish color. You know they're ready to harvest. Yes, so it was plump and that yellowish color. But you know, yellowish going down to brown. Yeah, I say you could leave them all on the tree, let them become brown, and then harvest them like that as well. Which I'm probably gonna leave some to be dried, because this is one of those food source that you could actually store for a very long time. Yep, you could shell them out, freeze them, freeze the green ones, and store the dry ones. Yeah, yep. Yeah, guys, I'll tell you the beauty of growing your own food. Yeah. People think it's a lot of work. It's not. Yeah. This is something that you have to buy from the store. Yeah. Always. We got more here. That time of the season, guys. Harvesting season. Yeah. All right, guys. So this is what we have here. I think we have. This is maybe about a good 3 pounds. Once we shell that out, we probably just get a couple of ounces of pea from it. The pods, all have, Yep. So I'm gonna show you again before we end this video. Yeah. So you see these guys? These are ready to go. Yeah. So as these we're gonna actually use right away. We're gonna shell them out and stuff, and we're gonna probably cook a soup and some rice and peas, our gandules, and then these are the dry ones which we could, replant back if we choose to. I did plant some from the black variety because I had the black variety pea growing on the side, but it got knocked down by the hurricane. Let me just go show you something real quick. Yeah, let me show you guys, because I planted some in the back over here. I normally plant them different locations every year. Normally the pigeon pea, the tree lasts sometime about 3 years, and then it die back and then you replant again. Yeah, so you see right here, these are some seed I just sowed probably like a week ago. It's up. There's one more coming here, and I did a couple there. So it's gonna grow big and lush right here, because I removed a tree that was here, to get more sunlight. But the pigeon pea gonna serve a good purpose in this location. Yeah. So that is it though. Let me switch the camera around. Alright guys, this was a quick video on harvesting, perennial pea that we have here in the food forest, which is called pigeon pea. It could serve as a pioneer tree also if you start in a food forest. You could have it growing along. That's why I started my food forest. I planted maybe 15 pigeon pea, and then I plant my seedlings right underneath them. And today we have a thriving food forest. So this is a multi-purpose kind of plant that if you new to the gardening or new to growing in the subtropics, definitely add pigeon pea to your food forest. All right, serve multi-purpose. As I say, could feed it to your animals. It's a long-term storage, a staple crop. It's eaten all over the world in different ways. I'm going to use it in a rice and peas and a soup. All right, so listen, thank you so much for watching. I'll be blessed with peace, love, happiness, and kindness. One love. See you guys in the next video.